Steph Curry talked about yesterday he mentioned how urgent things are, how big a game this is, and Draymond said maybe sometimes you don't want to hear that. It doesn't help, but maybe this time was the perfect time to hear that. Well, what did you think when he said that? Were you thinking the same? And how big did this game become then?
You didn't have to tell me anything. I've missed the last 3, so I was excited just to be back. But you obviously understand the ramifications of every game we play down the stretch. I know the guys fought hard in Dallas and lost it late, so you want to have a nice bounce back performance. But every game, especially against teams that are right in the right in the standings, where it's all jumbled up in that plan, like. Every game matters. So, and I knew we haven't won here in a while. I think it's been like 2 years ago. So that was on top of mine too.
Yeah. How was the ankle? Was there ever a moment when you had to think about it out there?
Nah. It was as expected. Like, body felt good, loosened up as we went, and it was nice to just get my reps back and feel the competition again, even though it was just, 9-10 days. I did miss it for sure.
You mentioned, you haven't won here in a while, just big picture, team you might see again in the play-in potentially. What kind of confidence can you guys draw from as a group winning here in the fashion that you did?
I know AD missed the second half, but you understand what they were, playing well as well. And you understand what they do, putting pressure on you in the paint. If we try to keep the offensive side of the ball simple and not turn it over, then we give ourselves a great chance to defend them in the half court. Bron's going to get his. When AD was out there, he's going to get his. You try not to let him get too many open looks from 3. And when we got stops, we were able to run too. JK got open a couple times in transition. Wiggs did as well. So for us to push the pace off of stops is always big against a bigger team like that. And only 18 free throws.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously noticed the trend in fouls not being called as much, points going down. You would think maybe the Warriors wouldn't love that, but in a different way, is this kind of playing to you, some of you guys' strengths, where, as someone said, you will never try to sell a call. Does this help you, maybe, you guys?
I just feel as long as it's consistent either way, whatever the tone of the game is, that helps everybody out there just play a good brand of basketball. Less complaining, just go hoop. And when it becomes like one side or the other and you kind of feel it, that's where things kind of get a little wacky and you get distracted by it. So for us, it just makes it about the game. And, playing sound defense, obviously, if they're allowing you to be physical, you can use your hands a little bit, knowing that they're going to do it on the other side, but it does help you, just stay in front of guys and, play solid team defense. So the consistency is key when it comes to that.
Last 2 minutes of the game took over 20 minutes. How would you describe how strange that was?
It was weird because every time, I don't know why we had the hope that we did after maybe the second one, but every time they put the ball in, we're like, all right, we're good. And then 2 dribbles and the whistles came back. So I had never seen anything like that in my 15 years. Because usually there's like a backup plan of a secondary clock or something. So thankfully it was only, a minute and some change, minute 50 left. And once they did get the ball back and play, 2 possessions, and we kind of sealed the deal from there. But definitely weird. I watch a lot of golf. I don't know if they did like that playing through thing where you see the commercials running and they're just waiting for the game to come back, but it's probably not the greatest for TV.
Steph, on that, in regards to reviews, what do you think can be done so that they don't take as long?
I have no idea. I don't know. I've always wanted to know what's the conversation when they put the headphones on and, like, who are they talking to and what's the back and forth. once you have a good read on whether the call should be overturned or not, like just sticking with your gut on that, and maybe that's the one thing about the calls that were tonight, like LeBron's heel on the line, Draymond's toe on the line, the offensive or the rebound that was simultaneously touched by two guys and they couldn't figure it out. They were all like, you have to zoom all the way in. So that's where technology kind of gets the best of you when you're trying to always, get it down to the frame that you can see it definitively. And it's weird that those three plays were kind of all in a row. So I don't know what the answer is, but just get it right.
Steve was saying that he don't like replay, like he'd rather just have it for buzzer beaters. What's your general sense of that role?
I do like it, to Medina's question, if it's quicker, it doesn't interrupt the flow of the game. You want to get, there are calls that you need it, and it can dictate a momentum swing or a crucial 2 points or whatever the case is. And especially when you get the challenge right, having another one just in case there's something down the stretch. So I think it might be more just how can you make it quicker than taking it away.
Steph, I've been.
For sure, I've worked really hard this week to get, let my ankle heal, but also stay in shape and not lose anything so I could come back. The third quarter, when I started to get going, I definitely felt a little bit in that second win that you need to get after missing some time. But knowing, where we are, again, every game mattering as much as it does. I want to be out there as much as I can and play, solid basketball the way I know how to do it.
Steph.
Team-wise, 8 or 9 games.
Oh, I thought you were talking about minutes. My bad. It's kind of the same question. I like it. But yes, that's for us to be able to build an identity on how we're going to play and that chemistry of units that you need. It is tough, Loon, Moses, Dario, probably in that order, and then you get down to Leicester and Rome, but especially, Loon and Moses, there's probably going to be times where, they're going to be needed and they need to be ready, and that's the challenge that they face, and the trust that we have that they can get put in there at any moment and still be productive, but this part of the year, again, building an identity of how we're going to play and the chemistry of the rotations and having that. Everybody needs to be available, obviously, but that's huge to build confidence in how we need to play.
Steph, one of the things that's really impressed me about you is what you've done for youth sports. I wanted to get your thoughts on you signing Malaysia, number one. And then two, I got a chance to go to your camp. Cooper Flagg, Ace Bailey, all the top players were there. You participated in every drill like you were trying to make it to the NBA. Just what's your thought on that? And, participating in camps and being a part of every drill, and then your thoughts on signing Malaysia, another female athlete that's about to be next up on the basketball culture.
The camp experience it's a brand that I've take a lot of pride in, just because I used to come up when I was coming up through high school and college. I went to Bronze camp, I went to CP's camp, I went to Steve Nash, Paul Pierce, Kobe's, and I got to see how different guys interacted with the next generation. Bron and CP were out there hooping just like I do. We were playing pickup. Paul and Kobe weren't as much. Steve was teaching more. So everybody has a different style. And for me, it was always fun to just get out there and feel their energy. It keeps me young. I can work on stuff that I'm doing in the summer and stay in shape. It's a great way to give them a unique experience, but also I benefit from it too. And the connections that I've made with all the guys and girls who've been in camp, we have true equity in our Curry camp with the same amount of guys, the same amount of girls that are invited, and they all can hoop. They're all amazing. It's where I met MiLaysia first, and to now know that she's part of CurryBrand and being able to have her wave, the CurryBrand flag and do it in the way that she knows how to do it, it means the world to me. So it's what I saw coming up and what I want to make, you know, when it comes to being a part of my world.
Last one, back left.
Steph, between your 4-point play where you might have been talking to Ben and J-Lo and then getting...
I was not.
Oh, okay. Well, we clear that up, I guess.
Yes.
Getting a racket from Novak. How was your night amongst the stars tonight?
That's what this city is, especially, you know, a big game like this on a Saturday, you get the who's who. But I enjoy the atmosphere in there, and same way like you go to different events, different sports, and see their marquee events. I'm a fan just like they are, and it's pretty cool to know that people come in here and love watching us play, and whether it's them or their kids or whatever the case is, that they're here for a reason.
Last one, back left was actually the gentleman sitting down. So.
Steph, how much of a momentum change did you sense when LeBron's three-pointer was reversed? Because it took it from 4
It took
back
it from
up to
4 to
7.
7, so that helped. But it was also the long break and extending the lead without doing anything is nice. It happened to me in Memphis actually, where it wasn't a ref looking at it. It was the folks in New Jersey looking at the replays, and I didn't even we came out of a timeout the same way they did, and had no clue that that's what they were looking at. Honestly, I don't like that one too much just because there's so much going on in the game, and his heel was just barely on it. He was obviously out. I think I was in Memphis, but it's weird when the flow of the game's going on and you hear a call come in from the sideline, so it is what it is.
Yeah, is it weird when you think they're reviewing one play and it's like, no, we're actually taking a look at another one?
Yeah, I was confused all the way, but it's not my job.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.